Belgium thought they were heading for a humbling defeat in the Seattle Heat. But a 22-second cameo from Romelu Lukaku changed everything. Welcome to FairPlay, Football AI Review. Group G was billed as a wide-open section, and after match day 1, that assessment looks entirely correct. Belgium and Egypt share a point apiece alongside New Zealand and Iran, who also drew their opener, meaning all 4 sides remain in genuine contention with 2 group games still to play. The stakes here were significant for both nations. Belgium, ranked among the pre-tournament favorites from UEFA, cannot afford a slow start with Iran and New Zealand still to come. Egypt, making their first World Cup appearance in years, needed a result that proved they belonged at this level, and they came very close to getting all 3 points. The pressure on Rudi Garcia entering this match was already notable. Belgium's qualification campaign was inconsistent. A loss to Kazakhstan, draws with North Macedonia and Wales, and the critics were circling. Garcia needed his side to show a cohesive identity from the first whistle at Lumen Field in Seattle. Hossam Hussein had his own selection questions answered confidently. Egypt lined up with their first-choice structure around Mohamed Salah and Omar Marmoush, and the coaching staff had clearly done their homework on Belgium's vulnerabilities. The Pharaohs arrived with a plan, not just hope. Belgium set up in a 4-2-3-1 with Amadou Onana and Yuri Tielemans as the double pivot. The key decision from Garcia was deploying Charles de Ketelaere as a false 9 rather than Romelu Lukaku from the start. A gamble on mobility and pressing over physicality and target play. That choice would define the first hour of this contest. Egypt mirrored with their own 4-2-3-1, Mohamed Salah operating just behind Omar Marmoush, rather than from a wide position. Hossam Hussein clearly wanted Salah in pockets between the lines where Belgium's pivot could be exploited, while Imam Ashur offered dynamism and license to drive from midfield. The structural battle was fascinating. Both teams pressed reasonably high, but Egypt's shape was tighter in transition, Marwan Attia and Mohamed Lashin sitting deeper than Belgium's pivot, allowing them to absorb and counter. Belgium's fullbacks pushed forward aggressively, which created space on the flanks but also left them exposed when Egypt turned them quickly. Belgium controlled the opening exchanges with 63% possession in the early minutes, Tielemans and Onana dictating tempo from deep. But possession without penetration is a familiar Belgian problem, and despite the ball, they struggled to find combinations that genuinely threatened Mostafa Chaubert's goal in those opening exchanges. Then came the moment that changed the first half completely. In the 19th minute, Mohamed Salah collected possession in a central area and slid a perfectly weighted pass into the path of Imam Ashur. The Egyptian midfielder took one touch to set himself and unleashed a stunning strike from around 20 yards that flew into the corner. Courtois got a hand to it but couldn't keep it out, 0-1, and the Seattle crowd was stunned. The goal was not a fluke. Ashur had been the most dynamic player in the first quarter of the match, constantly arriving late into positions that Belgium's midfield could not track. The combination with Salah was precise and purposeful, a move that had clearly been worked on in training. Belgium had no answer in the immediate aftermath. Belgium's best first-half opportunity came through Jeremy Doku's direct running on the left flank. The Manchester City winger drove past Fatou on at least 2 occasions in the first period and forced Chaubert into a sharp stop from a tight angle. However, de Ketelaere as the false 9 meant there was no body in the box to convert the crosses that followed. The structural weakness Garcia had gambled on was now costing Belgium clear chances. Halftime arrived with Belgium trailing by a goal and looking tactically stilted. Garcia's false 9 experiment had failed to produce a single shot on target for the Red Devils. Egypt, meanwhile, were compact, organized, and dangerous on the counter through Salah and Marmoush. The halftime message from the Belgium dressing room had to be about urgency and directness. Belgium started the second half with more purpose and width. Timothy Castagne pushed higher on the right, and De Bruyne began to find pockets between Egypt's defensive lines rather than operating too deep. The Red Devils looked more threatening but still lacked the focal point that the situation demanded, and Garcia recognized that almost immediately. The 56th minute brought a double substitution from Garcia that fundamentally reshaped his side. Nicolas Raskin replaced Castagne, tidying the midfield balance, while Maxim de Kuyper came on for Onana, adding a different option on the left. These were preparatory changes, but it was the substitution 10 minutes later that truly altered the match. Romelu Lukaku arrived in the 66th minute, replacing De Ketelaere, and within 22 seconds the game was level. Thomas Meunier delivered a cross from the right channel, and Mohamed Hani, under pressure from Lukaku's immediate physicality, could not clear cleanly, steering the ball into his own net. The Belgian striker had been on the pitch for less than half a minute. His impact was instantaneous and devastating. The 66th minute also produced one of the most dramatic disciplinary moments of the match, and it came from Egypt's side. Mohamed Hani, just moments after his own goal, was dismissed by referee Ramon Abati Abel. The red card, shown in the same minute as the equalizer, reduced Egypt to 10 men and fundamentally changed the final quarter of the match. Marwan Atia had picked up a yellow card in the 13th minute for a reckless challenge that set an early combative tone. Timothy Castagne followed just 60 seconds later with a similar booking in the 14th minute, suggesting both sides were willing to play on the edge from the opening exchanges. Ahmed Fatou's booking in the 34th minute was the second caution for an Egyptian defender, and it added to the sense that Egypt were stretched when defending wide areas. The yellow card for Maxim de Kuyper in the 75th minute, for shirt-pulling as he lost possession, was cynical rather than careless, a sign of mounting Belgian desperation. The decisive moment of this match was undoubtedly Lukaku's arrival. Not even his own goal, but the moment Garcia made the decision to send him on. 22 seconds to score. That is not luck. That is a striker with elite penalty box instincts, and it reminded everyone that keeping Lukaku on the bench for 66 minutes against Egyptian defenders may have been a costly tactical miscalculation in the first place. Belgium possession reflected a side that controlled the ball without fully controlling the match. Their passes were largely safe and sideways in the first half. The 86% accuracy looks impressive until you consider how little of it was in dangerous areas. The ball stats flatter Belgium's first-half performance considerably. Belgium generated an expected goals figure of 1.28 against Egypt's 1.01, and on paper that looks like Belgium were the more threatening side. Yet the reality was more nuanced. Belgium's XG was inflated significantly by the second-half period after Hani's red card gave them a numerical advantage. The shots on target were level at 3 apiece, which is the more honest reflection of the first-half contest. Defensively, Egypt performed exceptionally until the red card changed everything. They limited Belgium to just 9 shots inside the box in the first hour, while Hamdi Fati and Yasser Ibrahim dealt comfortably with everything thrown at them. Courtois, meanwhile, made 2 saves of note as Egypt's counter-attacking threat through Marmoush and Salah remained genuine even after going a man down. Belgium's standout individual was Kevin De Bruyne, who grew significantly into the match in the second half. His passing range opened Egypt's defensive structure on multiple occasions after the break, and his movement between the lines created several half-chances. He finished with the highest pass accuracy of any Belgian outfield player, and was central to the pressure that forced Hani's red card. On Egypt's side, the performance of the evening belonged to Imam Ashour. He scored from distance, completed more dribbles than any other player on the pitch in the first half, and showed genuine quality that will interest European clubs watching. When Hossam Hussein replaced him in the 71st minute, presumably to protect him for the New Zealand game, it was a moment that acknowledged just how much energy the midfielder had expended. The player who disappointed most was Charles de Ketelaere. The Atalanta forward was asked to lead the line as a false 9 and simply could not provide the focal point or the link-up play that Belgium needed. He touched the ball infrequently in the final third, lost several physical duels, and was rightly replaced at the hour mark. The false 9 concept did not suit de Ketelaere in this context. Rudi Garcia's tactical verdict is mixed. His caution in starting without a striker was exposed ruthlessly in the first half, and his reluctance to bring Lukaku on earlier, given the deficit, will be scrutinized. However, his 56th-minute double substitution and the timing of Lukaku's introduction at least showed reactive tactical intelligence. He salvaged a point when a defeat was looking increasingly likely. These two nations met rarely at this level prior to this tournament, making this result a first chapter rather than a continuation of a deep rivalry. For Egypt, holding Belgium to a draw on World Cup soil will feel like a historic moment, and the manner of performance, particularly in the first half, suggests this is a side with genuine quality rather than fortunate passengers in the group. Belgium's recent form coming into this tournament told the real story of their inconsistency. The 7-0 demolition of Liechtenstein and the 6-0 win in Kazakhstan look impressive on paper, but the 1-0 defeat to Kazakhstan at home and the draws with North Macedonia and Wales revealed a team still searching for coherence against opposition of genuine quality. This draw against Egypt is the latest chapter in that uncertainty. Egypt's form since the African qualifying campaign has been encouraging. Wins over Guinea-Bissau, Djibouti, Ethiopia, and Sierra Leone, with only one defeat in the lead-up period. They are compact, defensively organized, and dangerous on the counter. Their biggest concern going forward is depth. With Hani suspended after the red card, their defensive options are stretched. The Group G standings after match day 1 show all 4 teams on 1 point. New Zealand and Iran drew 2-2 in their opener, which means the group is perfectly balanced. Belgium must beat Iran in their next match and then take something from New Zealand. Anything less than a win against Iran, a side that drew with New Zealand, risks early elimination for a squad that contained some genuinely world-class individuals. Egypt face New Zealand next and must be considered favorites for that fixture. A win there would leave them needing only a draw against Iran in the final group game. Iran represent the unknown quantity. Their 2-2 draw with New Zealand showed attacking intent and resilience, and neither Belgium nor Egypt can afford to overlook them. My prediction is that Egypt qualify from this group if they beat New Zealand, which I believe they will. Their defensive structure, even with Hani suspended, is sound enough, and Marmoush and Salah give them an attacking threat that New Zealand's backline will struggle to contain. Belgium remain in contention but must win against Iran, and even then, goal difference could be crucial in a group this tight. This was a match that delivered drama, tactical intrigue, and a moment of pure impact that encapsulated the gulf between a striker of Lukaku's quality and the average. Egypt showed they are more than a Mohamed Salah fan club. They are a cohesive, well-coached unit with genuine World Cup ambitions. Belgium were rescued by a substitution and an own goal, which is not the narrative Rudy Garcia wanted after day 1. Thank you for watching FairPlay, Football AI Review. Group G remains wide open, and the next round of fixtures on June 21st and 22nd could change everything. Don't go anywhere. That's the FairPlay verdict on this one. If you want more analysis like this, follow us. Find us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at FairPlay AI, and follow Anthony personally on X at Anthony Fairplay. See you next match.